Hi, my name is Rachel Rasmussen. I am doing a career profile for my Family 150 class. The career I chose was Family Violence or Domestic Violence Prevention Counselor. An example organization for this job is Southwest Youth and Family Services in Seattle, Washington. They do have a website, swyfs.org. I don't know anyone in this career, so I don't have a contact person, but I did find a lot of useful information on the internet from various websites. Working environment for this job can be pretty stressful. Counselors work in a variety of settings, including government agencies, social work agencies, family welfare groups, in church programs, or even in schools with students. Some of these counselors work in office settings. Actually, most of them work in office settings where patients make appointments. And they could be working either with the whole family, with individual members of the family, or even with the parents. An occasional house visit may be required, and also an occasional court appearance. But usually court appearances are only for social workers rather than just counselors. The situations that these counselors face can be tense and uncomfortable, and they often have to stand as middle ground for families in difficult situations, and they may have to sometimes deal with violent situations and know how to handle that. They typically work normal hours, but there is sometimes occasion to work overtime or weekends, depending on the schedules of the clients. This job does have a lot of typical stressors when working in this industry, dealing with abusive situations, mediating difficult situations with family members, dealing with abusive family members, seeing the children suffer from abuse, dealing with criticism from clients or others, dealing with substance or alcohol abuse in families, and a lot of other high-stress situations that come with working with families that have severe issues. The typical benefits that come with this kind of job, as far as monetary benefits, when a counselor works like for the government, for schools or public health places, they typically can get health coverage, sick leave, retirement, vacation pay, paid holidays, and sometimes even disability care. If a counselor is working in a smaller or self-owned business, then they have to sometimes find their own health coverage, and the other extra benefits are also less common. Some of the job tasks for a family violence counselor include evaluating domestic situations, advocating for victims, establishing recovery plans, and treating perpetrators and victims. They prevent and address violent behavior and abuse in family situations, crisis intervention, assess the psychological, emotional, and physical condition of their clients, determine the level of danger their clients face, guide their clients to proper solutions for the issues they have, provide them with personal essentials such as clothing and food, direct them to resources for housing, education, job training and employment, financial advice, things like that. They can also refer clients to legal services, support groups, outreach services, and psychological counseling. And then, of course, there are also administrative duties that come with being a social worker, such as keeping records for the clients, managing cases, things like that. And they also sometimes have to find living arrangements for family members that can no longer stay at home. The educational requirements for this career most often requires a bachelor's degree in social work, counseling, psychology, or another similar behavioral science. States often have certification that also has to be It's acquired, but it varies by location and employer. And then certain positions also require counselors to be certified as a marriage and family therapist, which requires a master's degree, but then that also depends on employer. A lot of places also require counselors to work a certain number of hours in the field before they become officially certified, and that would require working under someone who is already certified and racking up hours by seeing what they do, following them around, observing, things like that. For the salary range really depends on location. Government jobs, you'll get paid more than working at a school, for example. But on average, when you're starting out at entry level, you get around $34,000, $35,000. And when you're experienced, you can get upwards of close to $60,000. Some other miscellaneous career information. Some of the skills needed for this career include active listening, social perceptiveness, speaking, critical thinking, service orientation, reading and writing, active learning, judgment and decision making, persuasion, problem solving, time management, negotiation, and systems analysis and evaluation. Some work styles that are helpful include self-control, stress tolerance, concern for others, dependability, integrity, social orientation, cooperation, adaptability, flexibility, attention to detail, independence, initiative, persistence, leadership, and effort. This job is probably really difficult, just from what I've read and learned about it. It's not an easy job to do, but it seems to have its rewards and benefits, especially for someone who loves to help people. And I thought it was fascinating to learn about. And that's it.